Walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir. Rabbi wa tammim bil khair. So yesterday we discussed about the types of object, types of maf'ul. And the important characteristic of maf'ul that it always be mansub. And there are 5 types we discussed. Maf'ul bihi, direct object. It answers basically it gives the action of who or what. And for maf'ul lahu, it was object or reason. When the answer is, the action is related to the reason, that is maf'ul lahu. Maf'ul fihi, it answers the question when and where, the time and place the action is done. It is basically maf'ul fihi. And then we have maf'ul hal, that is object of state. It answers the question how the action is done. And then we have maf'ul mutlaq. It is basically absolute object, when action is defined more clearly, intensify more clearness that how that action is done. Basically root of fa'il and maf'ul will be same, like kallama taklima. This is action, and then more emphasize on the kallama, that is how it was done, and both will have the same root, kalam. Similarly here, warattilil qur'ana tartila. Rattil and tartil have the same root, and recite the Quran beautifully. Recite beautifully. So these are yesterday we discussed and practiced. So just to recap, Brother Rida.
Yes, brother.
Please identify the maf'ul in this ayah, and also the what is the type of maf'ul is that?
Which one? This one? Okay. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ خَشِيَّةً إِمْلَاقٍ. دون أولادكم خشية إملاقا. خشية.
Khashiyya means fear.
Yeah, fear. I know.
Fear of poverty.
Okay. Khashiyya is the maf'ul.
Maf'ul. Khashiyata imlaq. Basically, this is maf'ul. What type of maf'ul it is?
Hal. Maf'ul al-hal.
Okay, can you please translate and then explain that why it is maf'ul al-hal?
Don't kill your child with fear. Imlaqan. I don't know. Poverty.
Due to
fear of poverty.
Due to fear of poverty.
Due to fear poverty.
Fear of poverty. So this is basically, it is telling us the reason that why don't kill, because of this. Because of this don't. So this is what you said?
If we are saying why, then it's going to be maf'ul lahu.
Yes. So this is maf'ul lahu. So it answers the question of
why.
Why? So why, if it is there, then this is maf'ul
lahu.
Lahu. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I would go to Azhar bhai.
Yes,
this one, please.
وَيَنْقَلِبُوا إِلَى أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. And
maf'ul, and what type of maf'ul here?
This is maf'ul like maf'ul hal.
Maf'ul hal. Which one?
Maf'ul hal like a.
So maf'ul hal. Which word is maf'ul hal?
Which one? Masrura.
Masrura. Yes. Can you please translate and then explain?
And he returned towards his family happily.
Happily.
In
So this is,
state
you
of
said this,
happy in that.
this is state, that
In
how
the
he
state of
returned to his family, in what state he returned to his family, that is masroor, in the condition of happiness. So this masroora, this is basically what?
state of
Maf'ul hal, how he returned,
maful hal.
act of state. So they answer the question of how, this is maf'ul hal. So I would go to brother Javed Rasul.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Please take this.
Wa anzala minas samai ma'a. So ma'a is the maful and it is maful bihi, like direct object. And we sent from the sky water. We
Where is
sent down.
we, Javed bhai?
Was it?
Where is
Oh,
we?
and he sent down from the sky water.
So what he sent?
Water.
Water. So what the answer of
What? Who or what? So
what
it
is maf'ul?
maful bihi.
Yes. If you just read this one,
Which one?
this one, وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى, up till here.
And Allah talked to Musa.
So is there any maf'ul in this first part?
Yes, Musa is the maful.
What
Because
type of
Allah-
maf'ul is?
It'll be a direct maful bihi.
Very nice, mashallah. So if we take it completely, then
And Allah talked to Musa, a direct talking or talking at length, and it is maful mutlaq because kallama and taklima, they fail and maful, they both have same root words, root letters.
very, mashallah, very nice explanation that in the first part, the Musa, it is maf'ul bihi. If we take taklima, then the action and this fail and maf'ul both have the same root. So this will be maf'ul mutlaq. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I would go to brother Hamad.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. This one.
ولما رجع موسى إلى قومه غضبان أسفا. So there is a غضبان أسفا ولما, and when Raja he returned, Musa ila towards qawmihi, towards his people, غضبان angrily,
Yeah, instead of high anger. Yeah.
instead of high anger. Yeah, it's mubalagha. Asifa. What is that? Regretting. Okay.
Sorry.
So
Yeah,
this actually raises a question at how he returned. So how?
In which state he returned?
Yeah, in which state he returns? Yeah. So which is the question is how here, which is a maf'ul hal.
So this will be maf'ul hal. This is object and maf'ul hal. Can you please combine the translation?
And when Musa returned towards his people, regretting and in high anger.
Thank you, Hamad. Tanjeen.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Go ahead, please.
ورتل القرآن ترتيلا.
Okay. Translate and tell me about the maf'ul.
Recite.
Tanjeen, you there?
I can't.
Okay, go ahead. Warattil. Recite.
Recite the Quran
Tartila. Beautifully.
beautifully.
Okay, do again translation this.
Recite the Quran beautifully.
Now tell me about what type of maf'ul is there. What is maf'ul and what type of that is?
Maf'ul bihi.
No,
So where is
how?
what type of which is maf'ul? Rattil, Quran, or tartil?
Tartila.
Tartila. So tartila is what type of maf'ul is?
How?
مفعول hal.
Maf'ul hal is what?
Object of state.
How? How? See here, tartil and rattil, they have the same root or not? Rattil, tartil, they have the same root. So this is maf'ul mutlaq, absolute object. So come to the class after revision. Don't come without any revision. So next is, so I think we have to start the next topic, that is status of an ism. It is just like our revision actually. We are summarizing about the status of ism. Status, when we say the status of ism, it can be marfu, it can be mansub, it can be majroor. So ism can be marfu, mansub and majroor. First, this thing should be clear. What do we mean by status of ism? And basically it can be marfu, mansub and majroor. We discussed this a lot during our second session in practice, and also in first session we did this, and today we are going to summarize this, that what time it can be, what type of ism can be marfu, what type of ism, and when the ism can be mansub, and when the ism can be majroor. This is the best time and very important thing, that to recognize the status of ism. So first thing is, we should know that the status of ism can be marfu, and one thing should be very clear, we are discussing about ism, not the verb. So status of ism is can be marfu, mansub or majroor. Let's see, let's revise that. When it can be marfu, it is these things, all the subject, or we can say in Arabic, fa'il, inside doer or outside doer. Inside doer or outside doer, they will be marfu. They will be marfu. Like here, Musab.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Musab, what is fa'il here?
Fa'il is خلق الله الأرض.
Allah.
Allah is fa'il. Khalaq is verb. Allah is fa'il. Yesterday we did Musab. Arda is basically object. Subject, object and verb. This is the best example which have all these three things: subject, object and verb. Fa'il, maf'ul and fail. So Allah is fa'il. So here this is outside doer, and all outside doer fa'il, that will be marfu. If you see here khalaqa, the inside doer will be he, and both inside and outside doer all will always be marfu. Second thing is naibul fa'il. Naibul fa'il will be marfu. Naibul fa'il, we discussed before that when there is a passive voice, so there will be acting doer. So this acting doer will be naibul fa'il. Naibul fa'il, and it will be marfu.
Brother, naibul fa'il in passive voice is maf'ul. That's why it's called naibul fa'il.
Naibul fa'il is acting doer. That is acting doer, and this will be marfu. In Jumla Ismiya, Mubtada and Khabar both will be marfu. In Jumla Ismiya, both Mubtada and Khabar will be marfu. Ismu Kana and its sisters all will be marfu. We discussed this before that. Then one thing is Ismu Kana and Khabru Kana. And Ismu Kana and its sister will be marfu. Default status of mudaf, like Baytullahi, Kitabullahi, by default they will be marfu, but it can change due to if there is something before that can change it. All detached pronoun, huwa, hum, anta, antum, ana, nahnu, they are also, their status is marfu. So fa'il, naibul fa'il. In Jumla Ismiya, Mubtada and Khabar, Ismu Kana and Mudaf, default status and detached pronoun. The second thing is Mansub. As we discussed yesterday, all type of maf'ul, all objects, mafa'il, they will be mansub. Their status will be mansub. Second thing is due to nawasibul ism. If before ism, nawasibul ism come inna, anna, kanna, laita, la'alla, they will make ism mansub. Khabru kana and its sister, Khabru kana and its sister will be mansub. Ismu in kana, two things. One is ismu kana, second is khabru kana. Ismu kana will be marfu. Khabru kana, the second part, this will be mansub. Allah is ismu kana, that will be marfu. And khabru kana, the ghafuran rahima. So both these things will be mansub. After harfe nida, the mudaf will be mansub. Like by default, this will be Rasulullahi. But if you say ya, if you put ya, it will not be ya Rasulallahi, ya Abdullahi. So normal default is Abdullah. But when you are calling someone, it will be Abdullah. Or you can just calling, it means, of course, you are calling him, it will be Abdullah. Or you are putting ya before that, harf nida, this mudaf will become mansub. Ya Abdullahi, ya Rasulallahi. So there it will be mansub. Also, we discussed that khabar in negative jumla ismiya due to ma or laysa. Ma and laysa, they will also make the khabar as mansub. In la ism of la nafiyatul jins, after this, if this la is la nafiyatul jins followed by isme nakara, mansub, light, this will be also mansub. The ism of la nafiyatul jins, this la nafiyatul jins followed by isme nakara, mansub, light. So this is also mansub. Then let's see then we'll come to this point. Majroor. Any ism can be majroor due to two reasons. Number one, if before ism there is a haruf jar like bi, fi, min, ila, ala, all if they are coming before any ism, it will make the mansub majroor. And second thing is mudaf ilay. Mudaf ilay will be majroor. So there are two main reasons for ism to be majroor. One is if before ism there is any haruf jar is coming, bi, min, fi, ila, ala, so the ism will be majroor. And in mudaf ilay will always be majroor. Now there are 2 points here, that a pronoun attached to verb will be mansub. A pronoun attached to ism will be majroor. So this will be, I would ask someone to explain this reason. Is there, brother Ashar is there? No. Wa alaikum assalam. Ashar bhai, there are 2 things. See here, a pronoun attached to verb, ka, hu, na. In this case, their status will be mansub. A pronoun attached to ism, hum, hu, ka, same thing, they will be majroor. Can you please explain the reason?
Yeah, so the pronoun attached to verb is basically maf'ul.
Which type of maf'ul?
It is maf'ul bihi.
Maf'ul bihi.
Yes.
Very nice. So because these pronoun attached to verb, mana'aka, he forbade
you.
or he prohibited, who?
You.
Yeah, so this is basically amara, he ordered, who? nas. So in this case, they will be because maf'ul bihi, and we know that all maf'ul, all objects will be mansub. Come to here, please.
This is attached pronoun are majroor because it is mudaf ilayh.
Yeah, it is a pronoun attached to ism. Ka, who, whom, they will be majroor. Why? Because they are mudaf ilayh. And we know that mudaf ilayh will always be majroor. So this is just a more explanation of this, but this is pronoun attached to verb will be mansub. Why? As Ashar Bhai explained that they are basically maf'ul bihi. And here a pronoun attached to ism, they will be majroor because they are mudaf ilayh. Overall, so this was the status of, this is very important slide. We should have a screenshot that the status of ism can be marfu, mansub, majroor. When ism can be marfu, when it is fa'il, naibul fa'il, mubtada and khabar in jumla ismiya, ismu kana, mudaf default status, and all detached pronoun. When ism can be mansub, when it will be maf'ul, maf'ul bihi, maf'ul hal, maf'ul fihi, maf'ul mutlaq, all will be mansub. If before ism, if there will be nawasibul ism, inna, anna, kanna, laita, la'alla will come, so ism will become mansub. Khabru kana and its sisters will be mansub, and ismu kana will be marfu. Harfe nida, after harfe nida, the mudaf will be basically mansub. Khabar in negative jumla ismiya, like due to mar, laisa, that khabar will be basically mansub. La naf, ism of la nafiyatul jins will be mansub, and pronoun attached to verb, it is because of this. And ism can be majroor if their harfe jar come before ism or mudaf ilayh, and this is also basically mudaf ilayh. That's why pronoun will be. So pronoun attached to ism will be majroor. A pronoun attached to verb will be also mansub. So we have to go for breakout room so that we can practice both types of maf'ul and summary of status of ism. Over to you, Doctor.